welcome back to my channel. My name is Bipolo Mwazi, and if you are a returning subscriber, thank you so much for making your way back home once again. It is always lovely to have you here, and if you are new here, I hope that you have a great time and you become a part of our family by just clicking that red subscribe button somewhere on your screen. Alright, so as you can already tell by the title of the video, today is the day that we spill all the tea. Okay, we're getting into the cracks of things. That's what we're doing today. I know, guys, this is a long awaited video. I'm so sorry for making you wait for this long, but in my defense, I only want to give you guys the best. So I was cooking, you know what I mean? I was still cooking just to make sure that it's very informative. It has the accurate information. I was making research on things that I wasn't sure about. So yeah, I think now I'm in a better position to dish out all the tea. So without wasting any time, let's get right into it. I hope that you enjoy this video. Okay, so first things first, we have our CV and cover letter, right? So what you probably think, what am I even supposed to add to my CV or cover letter? You need to have a picture, a professional picture at that. Professional picture, I don't mean a picture that's been taken like by a photographer or something, but obviously a picture that is how do I even explain this? I feel like it's so easy to explain. I mean, easy to understand, but I just don't know how to put it. But basically just the picture that you would want your employer to see. I mean, you guys know how CV pictures look like. Look presentable, smile, minimal makeup if you want to put on makeup, but honestly it's not necessary, and just like dress presentably. Okay, that's the first thing. And then once you have that out of the way, I need you guys, and I cannot stress this enough, okay, this is very important, your skills, your hobbies. Please tailor these to that of a teacher. Okay, so honestly speaking, nobody cares if you like going hiking with your friends as a hobby, you know what I mean? Like, if you want to be a teacher, what is your recruiter supposed to do with the information that you like hiking? Are you gonna go hiking with the kids? No. So you might want to include things like singing, dancing, sports. Be more specific when it comes to sports, maybe basketball, football, netball, whatever it is that you are good at or you enjoy doing, that would be beneficial to the school and to the students. Please, that is all your recruiter needs to know. And in terms of skills, obviously your PowerPoint, because that's how lessons are conducted here, your classroom management skills, yeah, Google has all your answers. Yeah, so basically just skills that are needed by a teacher. Don't be putting more project management skills, guys, in a teacher's CV, you know? Hey, now that we're done with the CV, let me see. Oh, also tips for when you don't have experience, right? So if you don't have any teaching experience at all, it does not qualify you from getting the job. But what can be an advantage, or what can help boost your CV is, for instance, if maybe you have experience as maybe a receptionist, right? You might want to add, because obviously by your experiences you have to list down a few of the roles that you did in your position, right? When it comes to now listing down your roles or your responsibilities in that position, you can then now try and relate it to teaching, right? So for instance, you could say you used to train your colleagues, or you used to things like that, things that could be related to teaching, right? Especially teaching abroad. Maybe you can say, receptionist, you had great interpersonal skills because you were dealing with different people from different backgrounds, different personalities, and obviously that's going to help you become a great teacher, because teaching also includes dealing with kids of different personalities, abilities, backgrounds, and. So just try and make sure that even if you don't have experience as a teacher, you take whatever that you can from your previous position and try and relate it to teaching. I hope I'm making sense. Now we're done with the CV part. Okay. Now we're going to get into interview tips. I'm going to give you guys 4 questions that are usually asked in an interview. You are most probably going to get all 4 of these questions, or at least 2 out of these 4 questions. Okay, so the first question is obviously, tell us about yourself. So in this question, just try and paint a picture of yourself as a teacher. That's literally all the recruiter needs to know. Who are you as a teacher? That's it. Whether you have taught or have not taught before, make the recruiter imagine you in the classroom. Give them, and while you're describing yourself, describe yourself and show the recruiter that, okay, this is what I'm saying about myself. You can't say, hi, I'm Bibela and I'm a very fun teacher. Show that you're a fun teacher. Hi, my name is Bibela. Papa, basically. Papa. That's all they need to know. That's all they need to know. They need to know that you will be an energetic, fun, optimistic, full of life teacher in the classroom. I mean, that's all you need when you're dealing with kids, to be quite honest. Just be full of life, full of energy. So carry that throughout your interviews, because you're going to have quite a number of interviews. Carry that throughout your interviews and just show them that outgoing personality. You know what I mean? That's the first thing. Just don't complicate things. Don't complicate things. Just be as simple and as brief as possible, but most importantly, try and paint the picture of yourself as a teacher to your recruiter. You obviously need to highlight your skills. This is where now you elaborate on your skills more, on your experience more, on your hobbies more, while tying it all to being a teacher. Okay, I hope I'm clear on that one. And then the second question would be, what are your classroom management skills? So in this case, they might ask you directly, what are your classroom management skills? Or they might give you a scenario. In my case, I was given a scenario that, it was actually a video of kids just being rowdy, and and they asked me, what would you do in this case? So what you need to do is, again, keep it simple. Please guys, it's also very important to do your research. So go on the internet and research what are some good classroom management styles or skills that you can put in place. And this is not only to get you through the interview, this is something that's also going to help you once you have the job. Okay, so first things first, you need to know that whenever kids misbehave, it's usually not personal. It's not personal to you. Okay, so you need to stay as calm and as rational as possible, and this is where the patience that you claimed you have in your CV will come to play, right? So you need to just research on how to deal with kids that are being rowdy and misbehaving in class. So do not, I beg you, do not say things that you're not sure about. Okay, just say things that you know what it, because basically what they are looking for is that red flag. So once they just spot a red flag in your classroom management styles, that's where it's over for you. Basically, that's where it's over for you. Third question is your teaching style. Okay, your teaching style. Again, going back to tell us about yourself, just make sure that your teaching style is something that is tailored for kids also, you know what I mean? So how do kids want to learn? Kids want to learn by having fun, by playing games, by having fun activities, you know what I mean? So highlight those things that, oh, I'm a very fun teacher, and I believe that kids yeah, so this is what I said in my interview. So I said, I believe that kids learn while having fun, so I'd like to incorporate fun activities and games in my lessons just to keep the children active and something along those lines. So you will see, but that's just basically what they need. They need to know that you are bringing life into the classroom, because it's kids, the attention span is very, and they need something to excite them. Okay. Fourth question is, why Hong Kong? So this is where you also take your time to research and find out what Hong Kong has to offer. The vibrant culture, the fact that there are so many experts here, so it's very easy to settle and gel in. You won't feel out of place. They have one of the best education systems, and you would probably want to be a part of such an amazing education system. What else about Hong Kong? Hong Kong is very safe. So coming all the way from Botswana, you would want to be in a country where you feel safe, and Hong Kong also has very amazing places to explore and learn more about other cultures and those kind of things, so that they know that you're really excited about coming to Hong Kong, and you just won't want to leave as soon as you get here. They want to know that you know what you're getting yourself into, right? They would probably ask you, you are coming all the way from Botswana, how are you going to deal with the fact that you are now in a new country, and you should be able to tell them that no, you're open-minded, you love challenges, you love exploring, you love adventure, so you will take each and every challenge as it comes and learn from it, things like that, you know, because they don't want you to then come here, get overwhelmed by relocating, and dump them in the middle of the school year and be like, yo, I can't do this anymore, I'm going back home. So you need to be able to convince them that you really, really want to be in this country. That is it with the interview questions. But again, remember, the whole point is to try and paint a picture to your recruiter what kind of teacher you would be, how your classroom would look like. Okay, we're done with that part. Now that you have you did your cover letter, you did your interview, you nailed it, you passed, it's time for you to come to Hong Kong. Let's now break down the traveling expenses. Oof. So I need you to understand that you might have researched about other countries, and some countries do offer flight tickets, like they do sponsor you to obviously come to the country. But unfortunately with Hong Kong, that is not the case. Sorrows. So everything from buying your ticket to covering your expenses for the first month while waiting for your paycheck, it is all on you. So first things first, your visa. So with your visa, you don't pay anything. The agency sponsors your visa. However, I think I paid around 500 pula for mine. I don't think I was supposed to pay for it, but when my visa was now approved and it was time for me to download it, they needed me to pay like around 500 pula. I think it was around 200 and something Hong Kong dollars. So I then didn't follow up on it. I was actually shocked when I had to pay, because The agency did not mention anything about paying. They do sponsor the full visa. So that was a bit, but I did pay for it because honestly at the time I just wanted to go and I didn't follow up on it. But my other friends did not have to pay for their visas. All right. So my visa, I paid around 500 bula. You might have to pay for it, you might not, I don't know, but if you do, it's only 500 bula. Okay. And then my flight ticket was 9,500. I honestly could have gotten it for cheaper, but I bought it almost a week before flying, so it was obviously a bit expensive. So you can get it for cheaper. I'm pretty sure you can get it for my 8 point something. Yeah, so that was my flight ticket, 9.5. And then rent. Rent in Hong Kong is actually very ridiculous, if you ask me. Like, it should be one of my least favorite things about living in Hong Kong. It's just, it's crazy. Okay, so anyways, so I got my accommodation on Airbnb. So how it works in Hong Kong is, with rent, if you're gonna rent a place, maybe a subdivided unit or whatever, you need 2 months rent as well as your deposit. So obviously that was not an option for me because number one, the rent itself for like a month is very expensive, and having to now pay that times 3 was not gonna happen. I couldn't afford it. So what I did, and what I would encourage you to do, is for your first few months, get a shared apartment. I know. I was also very skeptical about it because what do you mean I'm gonna share a kitchen and a bathroom with people that I don't know? But honestly, it did not turn out as bad as I thought it would be. It was very clean, very quiet. Well, with the shared accommodations that I've stayed in, because I've stayed in 2 shared accommodations, and honestly, it was okay, right? So I got mine on Airbnb, and it was 12,500. That's how much I paid for my accommodation here for the month, for the first month. So 12,500. Okay. And then transport for the first month, it cost me around 2,500 bula. I could have gone cheaper, or I could have spent cheaper than that, but I was not familiar with using the MTR, which is the train. So I was using the bus, which is a bit more pricey. The MTR is super cheap, and I regret not knowing how to, or not learning how to use it in the first place. So it depends what you use. If you use the bus, it will go to around 2,500, but if you use a train, honestly, I think 1,000 bula, or even like 1.5 will be enough. Okay. And then for groceries, well, groceries, it really depends if you're going to be cooking or if you're going to be eating out. In my case, in the first month, I was living off of ramen noodles, guys. Ramen noodles, eggs, and then halele I would make pasta and actual meat, but most of the time I was having ramen noodles. Honestly, guys, it's just for the first month until you get your paycheck, so you have to sacrifice. But if you can afford, I mean, love it for you. But for me, I was surviving off of ramen noodles most of the time. And for groceries, I had budgeted 4,000 bula, right? 4,000 bula, and I'm pretty sure I didn't use all of that 4,000 bula in that month. And then for preparations back home, so maybe you want to get yourself, but this one is very optional. I mean, I didn't even have to include it in the in the list, but just in case, because you want to be prepared to get maybe yourself formal clothes. Maybe if this is your first teaching job or your first job, you might want to get yourself some formal clothes, because you're gonna get here and you don't really know how to get around, where to get cheap clothes, and so you might just want to go to Mr. Price and cop you some maybe t-shirts, because it's not too formal. Also, maybe you want to cop yourself some t-shirts and some formal pants. Then yeah, so for preparations and buying suitcases and just general stuff, toiletries, because I wasn't sure if I was gonna find things that I'm used to here. So your deodorants, body lotions, face stuff, just general stuff that you're not sure if you're gonna find here. I had to get them back home, and for that I spent 3,000 pula. And then I had some money just for emergencies, in case I got sick, in case I needed to pay for something, just like emergencies, and that was 3,000 pula. So the total for everything was then 35,000 pula. I know it's quite a bit, but I can promise you this, it is worth it. And this is where we get into what we've all been waiting for, the salaries, right? I can only make reference to what I know, okay? I can only make reference to what I know, which is Eureka. And of course, I have other friends who don't work for Eureka. Maybe they got hired by the school directly. So that's what I'm going to make reference to. So with Eureka, their salaries for a full-time teacher, for a full-time native English teacher, range between, so the start would be 22,000 Hong Kong dollars. Okay, 22,000 Hong Kong dollars. And 22,000 Hong Kong dollars is equivalent to 38,500 pula. 38,500 pula, right? And then the most you can get is probably, this is the basic salary, by the way. The most you can get is 25,000 Hong Kong dollars, which is 43,800 pula. So with this salary, right, it might be more. So let's say, for instance, you signed your contract with Eureka and you agreed on 22,000 Hong Kong dollars, right? You could still ask, or you could still get some part-time jobs as well. Maybe if you are willing to work on a Saturday, you can get some part-time jobs, which will obviously increase your salary maybe by 1,000 Hong Kong dollars. So maybe it could push you to 23,000 Hong Kong dollars. In terms of cost of living, it's very subjective. I think it depends from person to person. It obviously depends on your preferences, your lifestyle, and but one thing I would want to put out is, I would want you guys to know, stressing the rent issue. You might be thinking, oh, I'm paying this amount of money because I'm probably going to be living in a very spacious, nice house. And the reality is, no. It's very frustrating. It's something that I'm also getting used to. It's something that I'm constantly reminding myself, girl, you are doing this because of the life that you want to create for yourself in the future. So honestly, the housing or the accommodation here is not the best as compared to like back home in Botswana, obviously. So with that, with the amount of rent that you pay, let's say for instance a subdivided unit. So a subdivided unit is basically like just a room with a little kitchenette and why am I sugarcoating? One room, subdivided unit, one room. It has a bed over there. If you're lucky, it'll have a table. It has a wardrobe. It has a little bar fridge. It has a bathroom, and this much of counter space. That's the place that I'm currently living in. But honestly, for me, it's not a big deal. It's comfortable for me. It's okay. I have what I need. I have everything that I need. So I constantly need to remind myself that I don't need all the space that I think I need. It would be nice to like live in a big spacious house, but I have to work with what I have, right? I mean, it's not impossible for you to get a spacious house, but then that would mean you're sacrificing on something. You're either sacrificing on your lifestyle, maybe if you like nice things like me, and maybe you would like to travel, or you would like to get yourself some nice things, then that means you would have to compromise or sacrifice that part, or sacrifice savings, which I don't think anyone would want to do that, especially living abroad. You want to make sure that you save and invest as much as you can. So with that being said, I gave you guys the figures, I gave you guys the salaries, I gave you guys the cost of living, like the basic things: rent, food, transport. So it's really entirely up to you to decide if you think it's worth it, or you think, no, I can't move from the comfort of my home and leave my very big spacious apartment to go and live in a one room in Hong Kong. All up to you. Yeah, but with that being said, I think we covered everything. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for asking questions, for those who asked questions. And yeah, do what you may with this information. I hope that you enjoyed this video. Like, share, comment, and please don't forget to subscribe. I'll see you guys in the next video.